Hey everyone, that's why I said it, and by I mean said it, did you read the title of this video? Cause I'm going to Minerva. So many people have been asking me, where are you going to university, Sinead? Where are you going to university? Where are you going to university? This has been the most emotional, like, decision-making, like, crossroads periods of my life, and I just want to document it. So I'll be going to Minerva Schools of KGI, but the thing is I'm not really going to Minerva, it's more like Minerva is coming to me, and more on that in a moment. So I'll be honest, I've had an incredibly rough year. I think we all have. 2020 hasn't been the best, but aside from coronavirus, racism, and other big worldly problems, my personal life has been a real mess. But slowly, like, because of lockdown and stuff, I've had some time to work on myself. So this year has kind of been like the best and the worst year of my life, and like nothing in between. Like, I actually got into this university ages ago, around September time, but only recently did I genuinely commit to going to this university. And that's because my decision on whether or not I wanted to actually go to this university has changed more times than I can count. Actually, let me just show you. So since I'm into STEM, let me draw you a graph. The x-axis here is time. The more positive in the y-axis I am on this graph, the more likely I think I'll be going to this university. The more negative I am in the y-axis, the less I think that I'll be going to this university. So initially I was just going through the IB, and I stumbled on a video by Unjaded Jade in which I actually discovered this university. Then I did the application, and because I applied for binding, I quickly got accepted. And so yeah, I thought I really might be going to this university. But then I had some major issues with financial aid, and so I plummeted down into not going because I didn't think I'll be able to get out of that issue. But then I fixed the issue, and then I was like pretty sure I was going. But then I didn't think I was going again because I thought I'd gotten a good scholarship to go to a different university. But then I realized it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, so I returned to deciding to go back to Minerva. Then I heard about Ascent Week, and that made me want to go even more. And then I had this major personal issue and financial aid issue, which made it so that I thought I was definitely not going to this university. And so I applied for financial aid readjustment, and they barely changed it at all, so I didn't think I'd be able to go still. But then I found out that due to the coronavirus, I had the opportunity to spend the first semester studying just from Bali. And because of this opportunity, I'll be able to actually afford to go to this university for the first semester at least. And so that's what made me decide that, yep, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be able to go to this university, and I'm gonna be able to do it from the comfort of my home in Bali. And on that note, let's talk about Minerva and what it's all about, because it's a bit of a weird university. So I've heard from a lot of university students around the world that having to take classes online has been somewhat of a nightmare. From teachers not knowing how to use technology effectively, to universities not having clear communication from their students. I'm sure like a lot of students actually enjoy online university, but I know that a lot of students are also struggling with it because it's only just recently that all of the universities have been pushed to move online. But Minerva kids, and hopefully me in the future, have had no issues with their academics. Their academics have been able to continue on as normal despite coronavirus. And this is because the Minerva University, even before Corona, hosted all of its classes online anyways, through this thing called the Active Learning Forum. So basically, Minerva built their own version of Zoom, but it's better because you can do more interactive things. But the program is specifically designed to facilitate an interactive education between the students and the teachers. So this means I'll be able to do all of my education that I need from Bali with next to no differences in terms of academics. I mean, I am a bit worried about the time zone. I might have to be attending some 3 AM lectures, but yeah, we'll see. Now I'm hoping this is only for the first semester or so, because in Minerva you don't actually only stay in one campus, but instead, whilst you're doing your degree, you get to go and travel in 7 different countries. So how it's supposed to work is that you do your first year in San Francisco, and then for the next 3 years you do 4 months in 6 different countries. So that's 2 different countries a year. But I'm planning to do the first semester remotely from Bali, so I'll probably skip the first semester in San Francisco. But hopefully after that, I'll be going to the university in number 1, Seoul, South Korea, Berlin, Germany, London, England, Hyderabad, India, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Taiwan, Taiwan. And another thing about this university that's cool is that the cohort is so international. Like, there are kids coming from all over the world. But honestly, I'm a bit over this hype because being a mixed person, going to an international school, people from all over the world, I'm like kind of used to diversity. This isn't going to be anything like, woohoo! rainbow. So let's talk a bit about what Minerva is all about, because boy is it ever different to most traditional universities. So we all have our woes, right? And we all know that there's problems with higher education today. The world has changed so dramatically, and for some reason universities still look the same as they did 100 years ago. Lectures are boring and passive, kids study primarily to maximize their mark rather than to learn, and memorizing vast amounts of information when we have this thing called the internet is still necessary in order to graduate. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of value that comes from higher education, but the general vibe I'm getting from lots of university students is that there are still lots of issues with regards to the education system. Why are kids graduating with $100,000 in debt with a degree that sometimes can't even get them the right job? Minerva, on the other hand, is a radically different university, which has attempted to rethink higher education and develop people ready for the challenges of the 21st century, in a world where we have the tools of the internet and technology. What that largely means is a lot of things. So in Minerva, there are no lectures, there are no exams, and there is no homework. Instead, Minerva implements the flipped classroom strategy. So before each class, you have to do pre-readings. Then for the class, you attend the online lecture seminar on your computer, where you essentially engage in this active online learning seminar thing, where the teacher is only allowed to talk for 4 minutes at a time, and it's super interactive and engaging. You know, if you're in a classroom with 30 kids, it's hard to make it all interactive, but because everyone's communicating through the computer and Minerva teachers can use the tools of the Minerva forum, they're able to make it super interactive. I've attended one of these classes, and it's so interesting how it goes. It's the teacher talks for a bit, then you break out and do some sort of group activity, you talk to people, you discuss your ideas, you come back, you share your ideas, there's polls, and he asks you questions, and it's really interactive and good. And yeah, so I guess this style of learning and this style of classrooms really excites me. Even though I haven't attended a university lecture, for my physics class in IB, it felt essentially like a lecture. I could just feel that the style of lectures just wasn't doing it for me. And also, I don't have any woes for the fact that all of it is done through your computer and online. I kind of like it. I think this would really suit me. I love the computer, I love technology. Throughout the IB, I felt like I learned 80% of the content, legit, a large chunk of it, just from doing my own research through the internet, through watching YouTube videos, through reading stuff on my computer, and doing all of that by myself without a teacher to help me. I even went paperless at one point because I bought an iPad, so I could write all I wanted to on the iPad and then just use only my iPad and my computer to study, and I just freaking loved it. But what this also means is that I get to attend class without pants. Just something I'm excited about. Another thing about this university is that there is no campus. All there is really is just a residence building in the middle of a major city. And the idea behind this is that Minerva is trying to push you towards immersing yourself in the city and participating in global immersion, I think. And what they want you to do is they want you to make the city your campus. And yeah, this might sound a bit weird and cheap by the university, but one thing, it brings down tuition fees a lot because they don't have to pay for giant football stadiums and stuff like that. But two, I also really agree with this sentiment. The idea is that when you are in a giant all-inclusive university that has everything that you need, the campus kind of becomes your bubble, you know? The fact that Minerva is placed right in the middle of the city without any facilities means that you will be forced to go outside your comfort of your dorm and actually participate in the real world. And personally, I think this is a great initiative. I went to a private school in my life. My teacher worked there, so I went there for free. And I saw this trend amongst the super wealthy kids who went to the big, massive private schools where their whole life was kind of just in that school. They did classes really early, and then they did all of their after-school activities still within the school, and then after school they would just go to their fancy mansion, and on the weekends they would just go to the fancy malls, and they kind of created this bubble of comfort for themselves and never really explored Jakarta outside of that bubble. So yeah, I think this living situation is a good thing, and I'm really only just saying this now because I want to be able to look back on this video and see how my opinions changed on this topic. And another thing that I'm super excited about when it comes to the Minerva University is how academically rigorous and challenging I hear that it is. I'm ready for another academic challenge. I'm not interested in looking for the degree simply to get a degree. I actually want to learn something. I'm wholeheartedly excited to go through the process of university, not just get the degree. And I want to have so much work to do that I have to actually schedule my days and really focus on time management properly, because recently I've just been like a bum, like just like, yeah, I can do it later, I don't have to do anything now, I'm just gonna take things chill, which I think is okay, but I kind of want that pressure to actually push me to do things. If you don't know already, I love studying and learning. I know there's lots of hard parts to it, but I really do enjoy the process of learning, of studying. It's the process that I care about. I don't give a shit if I'm smart or not. The process is what I'm there for. Also, what I'm excited for is just the community and team that works at Minerva. They've been amazing so far. I've talked to some of the people who will be in the same year as me, and they all just seem like such great people. I can't wait to meet all of them. And now I know it's going to be difficult because I'm going to be spending the first semester in Bali, but I've already talked to a few of them, and I hope I'll just be able to keep up in contact with them until it gets to the point where I can like go and see them in real life. If you want to learn more about Minerva, I'm going to leave some links in the description below, so check those out. But in all fairness, I honestly have no idea what this university has in store for me. I have no idea what it's really going to be like. It's just a hypothesis. It's just an opinion. I'm not sure what actually is going to happen. Here are some things that I'm going to be worried about. And yeah, I'm like saying these so that I can look back on them and see if they were actually a worry or if it was just me being paranoid. So one of the things I'm kind of worried about is just like being able to explain to my Balinese family what's happening. So I'm living in like this somewhat rural Balinese village between the ocean and a bunch of rice fields. My grandparents are rice farmers, and my family is really dedicated to participating in their religious cultural duties, and I also have to like participate in all of those like cultural community activities. It's kind of a must. You can't really like not do it. And also they don't really speak English. Like I'm gonna have to like explain to everyone like what's going on. I'm just not sure how that's gonna go down. Now also I am super excited about studying and all. I'm just worried about how I'm going to get my head into the right space mentally in order to really take full advantage of my education. I've gone through some rough stuff in the past. These days I'm really just trying to work through that, and I've been doing that just by like taking a lot of time for myself. And so I'm worried whether I'll be able to keep that up in university, because I don't want to get into the trap of prioritizing my academics over my mental health like I sometimes did in the IB. A third thing is that I've got a lot of projects that I'm working on at the moment. I'm just worried about whether I'll be able to finish them all before university starts. I really want to. I'm gonna try. I thought I had forever to do them, but now I'm like putting them all up into 3 months. I'm just not sure how it's gonna go down. Another thing I'm worried about, number 4, is that I don't know how to code, and in Minerva we have to learn how to code, and I am just terrified. For my physics IA, I did a mini coding project for it, but like I don't remember anything. I'm just not into coding, and I have to learn coding, and I'm just like, no. Number 5, I'm worried about feeling lonely because I'm not going to be physically there with the people. I'm just going to be here in Bali. I'm not going to be in the Minerva environment and community, and that's a little terrifying. Being in the right environment is crucial to doing well at whatever you want to do. Whilst it won't be the worst thing, yeah, I'm just like gonna miss not being able to like see people that are doing like the same course as me. I'm just gonna have to only be able to see them through the screen. But I do know in a lot of ways like being in Bali is gonna be a good thing for me, because I'll be able to run my personal Balinese villager life whilst also being able to participate in my weird like international education. But yeah, I don't know. And again, I'm just saying all this for my future self to look back on and see which of the struggles were actually a problem and which of the struggles turned out to be okay. I'm really excited to see what Minerva has in store for me. And also I just can't wait to start studying again. So yeah. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!